Hey guys, Mel the Train Tutor here again, and welcome back to our continuation in our experiments with flocking. Now in this particular one, what we're going to be doing is looking at pure watered down PVA, i.e. the stuff we normally use to seal our pieces, as an actually glue, as a fixative. Now this sort of came from a comment from one of the guys in the Trainiac support group. I can't remember your name at the minute, Dan. I'm going to have to get better at that. Yeah, and it's also a technique that's used quite commonly in the railway community. Okay, so I thought, since we're doing this series, let's have a quick look at it, see how it goes. Now, I've got two test boards here. What I've got here is both have been painted brown with my normal tape, etc. This one has been painted brown, it's been left to dry, and then it's just got flock dripped on it, sprinkled on it. We've got a slight sprinkling, a very sort of thin covering, and then a more thicker covering. Okay, now that isn't glued down. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray this one with watered down PVA, and seal it and see what reaction it is. I'm expecting the PVA to sort of blow it all over the place, to be truthful, because this isn't the best mix, but we'll have a look. On this one I'm going to spray it down with watered PVA, and then I'm going to sprinkle on flock in similar quantities, and we'll see what the difference between having the watered down PVA first and put it on after makes. Okay, so let's crack on. The wife's going to kill me. Not sure about the coverage on this because it's so spotty, but it is covered all the way through. But let's give it a go and let's see. So the first one. Little sprinkles, just a little sprinkle. We want a couple of little patches to see how it adheres. The thing I'm really interested about this is whether it's a way of we can just put a little bits of flock on terrain. Next one is a thin covering. See how that adheres. And then finally we want our thick covering. Now straight away I can see on that one that it started to clump up a bit, but we're going to have to see. So that's how it is right now. What we'll do is we'll come back when this is dry and we'll have a proper look at it, guys? Alright, let's see when it's dry. So it's the morning now and all our PVA is dried and it's time to actually have a look at these boards. Now this was the one that was pre-sprinkled, this was the this was the one that we did after the after we coated it down. So first off, it's clear to see that the one that we sprinkled down, and also the one that was pre-sprinkled hasn't really stuck that well. There's been elements, but the sort of excess has left off on where we put the excess. It's not so bad here, it's perfectly fine here, and these are fine. Okay, so thicker coats using this method, unless you're going to come in and reseal it, ain't going to work. So first off, that's pretty well held down. That's pretty well held down. So as a method of putting, say, watered down PVA onto terrain and putting little grass patches, this would work well. Moving on to the slightly thicker, we could probably rub that off if I tried hard enough. That's a lot better though. Well, the one where we've clumped it down first and dropped PVA onto it, it's clumped up into lots of little bits. Okay, and then they're coming off reasonably easily. Where we sprinkled it onto the PVA, it's been a lot smoother. Now you see that's workable. I can rub it off, but then again, if you really hammer most things, you can rub them off. But that would certainly work with a reseal. Okay, over here, as expected, way too much scatter to actually, adhere with any decency. Over here, a bit better. Now, straight off, it's obviously easier and it's obviously a lot cleaner and a lot more realistic if you drop the scatter down on top of the watered down PVA rather than putting the scatter down first and hitting it. That's the first thing to take from this. Next thing to take from this is that these methods alone will not do for wargaming terrain. These might with a very small amount, but the moment you increase in volume, you really need to be looking at resealing it. Okay, well, that was interesting enough. Right guys, hope you found it interesting. Yeah, interesting to have a play. Definitely has applications there. Possibly has applications here and here, but it needs to be sealed. So that's something to look at. But that's still reducing the volume of PVA. So guys, only one more experiment to come, and then we're done with that flocking February, and we'll do a nice roundup on all the results for you. Obviously, if you've liked what you've seen, yeah, like the video. If you've got a friend who you think would find it useful, share it with them. Above all, comment. Now, if you're into making terrain at all, yeah, or any sorts of, if you're interested in anything I do, any terrain related stuff, come check out the Terrain Tutors Terrainiacs. It's a Facebook support group that we've set up. It's got about 200 members. There's no commercial links, no spamming, no professional studios. We're all hobbyists in a group of hobbyists just helping each other out. Yeah, there'll be a link in the description. Yeah, so if you're on Facebook and you fancy joining a really nice terrain group, come on over and say hello. Finally, if you really like what I do, then obviously check the Patreon link, and if you really like what you hear, you can throw me a book on Patreon. But that's not obligatory, of course. Do it if you want to. If not, no worries. I'll see you in the comments, guys, and as always, we'll be back with another video really soon. All the best, yeah? Ta-ra.